Hey friends, my name is Layla and I created the website Godly Businesswoman, which has coaching for godly businesswomen, whether you are just starting in your career or you want to go deeper into your career. I have support for you to help you figure out your purpose, your ideal prospect. I help you put together your presentation and then we get out there and we practice. And if you have a goal of speaking on stage, then this course is going to help you do just that. In this video, I am going to talk to you about purpose, your purpose in this world, and also how to use your career for God's glory. So let me share with you some Bible verses. Okay, so let me show you some of these Bible verses. Okay, so Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10, it says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Jesus Christ to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do." First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31 says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." Isaiah chapter 43, verse 7. "Everyone who is called by my name, who I created for my glory, I formed him. Yes, I made him." And then Colossians chapter 1, verse 16 through 20. It says, "For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him." So I hope that gave you some indication that we aren't necessarily here to have a thriving career, that is what God put us on earth to do, which is what I thought that was my purpose. I was looking for a career, thinking that is what I was called to do, that I'm here to save the world. There was a time that I was vegan and I thought that my purpose in life was to save the animals, until I started reading more about the Bible and realized that animals were used for sacrifice in replace of sin, because we were sinners. And before obviously Jesus came. So I thought, okay, well, if God is using animals for sacrifice, then I don't think my role is to save all of the animals. And I live in the United States, and in the United States, there is this constant, not constant, but it seems like there's a culture where we're meant to find a career and something that we love, and that's supposed to be our purpose. But there's Saul in the Bible, and Saul used to persecute Christians, and then God called him to eventually go and spread the gospel to the Gentiles. And he was beaten and he was persecuted. And I'm sure there were a lot of things that he didn't like that he was going through, but he did it all for the glory of God, because that's what God says to do. So even when you're washing the dishes, even when you are folding your laundry, making your bed, cleaning the toilets, cleaning the showers, you're doing it all for the glory of God. So that's first of all. Even if you're at a job that you don't really like, we're still called to do it for the glory of God and to love it, okay? But now, what if you're saying, well, I want to start a business and I have skills, or maybe you might want to start a business, but you don't necessarily know what to do. So I'm going to hopefully give you some encouragement and help you with that. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a course, and in the course, I help you discover your purpose for doing your business. Then we tackle your ideal client, and then we work through formulating your presentation, and then we get out there and we practice. But just to give you a little brief right now, there's something that you went through in your past. There are, first of all, gifts that you have been given by God. There's skill set that you have, but there's events that you have gone through, maybe trauma that you have overcome. You probably have a testimony. Just to give you an example, I have had 3 abortions and 1 miscarriage. And the Lord led me to do healing in a weekend retreat. And after that, I felt finally free from these miscarriages that I've had. And I prayed to God to show me how I could go out there and help other women. And first, I thought that I was going to duplicate these like a weekend retreat. And then I thought, well, maybe I will just do one-on-one Bible studies, and I was looking for different Bible study course out there. And it took about a year for me to really figure out what to do. And then I just kind of put it to the back burner because I thought, okay, I'm not getting any answers. I don't really know what direction to go, so I'm just going to put it aside. And then this past Easter, I have a dream, and the next morning I wake up and I think about that dream because it was so vivid. And in my dream, I was sitting there surrounded by a bunch of women, and these women were avoiding making eye contact with me. And I knew that a lot of them have had abortions, and they were avoiding my gaze because they felt shame. And I saw tears sort of, coming down their eyes. And I realized a lot of these women are carrying on to this burden and shame from having had abortions that they need to be released from. And they don't want to talk to me about it. They want to release it, but they're being held back because they have strongholds. So the very next morning I prayed, I said, okay, God, what do you want me to do with that? You gave me that dream. Where do you want me to take it? And then I thought, okay, build a website. What kind of website? And I'm trying to think of names. And then God gave it to me. He said, My Baby in Heaven. And I said, okay, My Baby in Heaven. That sounds like a really good name. It's probably already taken. So I look it up. No, it was not taken. So I bought it. I built the website in 2 days. And then God was giving me the visions and the idea. And he said, this is going to be an online memorial for babies that are in heaven due to abortion or miscarriage. And we exist to encourage and motivate women to memorialize and name their babies. That's the purpose of the website. So I thought, okay, well, there's that. But see, to take a woman from having had an abortion to all of a sudden naming the baby, there's some steps that need to be done in between. First of all, a lot of us that have had abortions forget how many abortions we had. We close down. We close off those memories. We forget about it. Sometimes we think that we're fine and that we don't need healing. And a lot of us have had abortions when the babies were like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or young. So we don't even know, is that a boy or a girl? And so to think that not only is it a boy or a girl, but there's a name there and that God knew that baby's name, that takes some uncovering to do. Even if you are a born again Christian, you might not have even thought that that baby has a name. And so many women that are still born again Christians live with this shame. So I said, okay. And then it took some time. It wasn't like immediate. It took some time. I built the website. I started promoting it. I already had the idea when a woman uploads her baby, I'm going to give her a certificate of life and a little package that I have for her. Then God started helping me create the series. And then I created this, My Baby in Heaven, this book series. And you can watch the entire course from the comfort of your own home. It's a whole video series. So there's a whole video series that you can watch for free. Any woman, anywhere in the world can watch this and get healing, get emotional and spiritual recovery after having abortions, then add their baby to this online memorial. So I used a past trauma that I had. I use skill sets that I have in SEO, building a website, marketing, and I created this website. But who is ultimately bringing me the clients, or not clients, but in this case, it's just women that need this healing? God is. I'm doing my videos, I'm promoting it, I'm putting videos on TikTok, putting videos on YouTube, Instagram, and I'm trying to stay committed to one reel a week and one long form video on a Friday on YouTube. So that's an example of me creating sort of a ministry that is taking an experience that I have, something that I've overcome to be able to help women. This coaching business, Godly Businesswoman, God also gave me the name of this website. Where did this come from? Well, I've been in financial services since 2015. My website is Top Financial Agency. And I'm a widow. I've got identical twin girls that God's blessed me with. So I have skills in developing a business, from zero sales experience to being one of the top equity co-owners of the company that I was with. I leave that company. I come to be independent after my husband passes away. I prayed on it some time, and God helped me to revamp and rebuild the branding of my new company. And now I've got more opportunities, more products to give to clients, more opportunities if people want to come on board and get their life insurance license, which I think, by the way, is the best license to get. If you want to get your life insurance license, I will help you with that. Go to topfinancialagency.com. It's a really, really great business to get into. It's especially great for single moms. So that's another thing. So God leads me to financial services. I use my skill set. I use all the experience that I have in coaching. And then I specify now, I want to specifically work with godly business women. I'll coach anybody. I mean, I have men on my team, I have women, I have everybody on my team. But for this coaching program specifically, and by the way, if somebody that's not a Christian wants to come and wants to get help, that's fine. I'm not going to turn anybody away. But where I'm niching, where I'm focusing on is focusing on godly business women. Although my program, I can coach anybody. Okay. So I hope that gave you a little bit of guidance to realize that your ultimate purpose in life is to love God and to be loved by God. That is your purpose, to glorify God, to do things for God, because God created you so that he could love you. So number one, accept the love of God. Accept the blessings of God. That's number one. Accept the blessings of God. Accept the love of God. And then love, because the two greatest commandments is love God with all of your heart, all of your mind, all of your soul, everything about you. Love God. And number two, love your neighbor as yourself. So those are the two greatest commandments. And then use your past traumas, your experiences, your skill sets, the gifts that God has given you, and help somebody else. And then whatever job you're in right now, if it's something that you're currently dissatisfied in, it's still something that God has placed in you to either be a light in somebody else's life, inspire somebody else, to motivate somewhere else, to share your testimony to somebody else wherever you are placed. And then finally, if you want some coaching, head over to godlybusinesswoman.com. If you know somebody that has had an abortion, or if you have had an abortion, highly recommend that you go to mybabyinheaven.com. If you need financial services, or if you want to get into the industry, then head over to topfinancialagency.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day.